please repost this as much as you can. If you see this, please repost it. I feel like that's the quickest way for me to go viral. Please repost. Thank you so much. So my case is Shaquilla Williams versus Roc Nation, Sean Carter, Jay-Z, Beyonce Knowles, Sean Combs, Nicki Minaj, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Kim Kardashian, Tyler Perry, Jeffrey Epstein, Disney, and Jane and John Doe 1 through 100. That represents a lot of the celebrities that I did not name. However, they are a part of this complaint, and it also represents various government actors, including the CIA and other agencies that facilitated my targeting. My preliminary statement is I, Shaquilla Williams, bring this action as a last resort, not for money or legal victory, but to place the truth into public record. My life has been systematically dismantled by a powerful, coordinated network of celebrities, corporations, hospitals, and government actors. I believe I was placed on a government watch list after being poisoned in an Ohio hospital. That placement triggered a series of devastating abuses, identity theft, surveillance, creative and financial exploitation, and trafficking. My likeness has been monetized by some of the world's most powerful entertainment figures. My daughter, who is now 18, has also been targeted. I named Roc Nation, Beyonce, Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Disney, and many other Hollywood actors as a part of a Hollywood-centered enterprise profiting from this abuse. Through this lawsuit, I seek not only relief for the personal harm I've endured, but also a permanent public record of how government power, corporate technology, celebrity influence, and institutional medicine can be fused together into a weapon. I was raised in a family affiliated with the Black Liberation Movement and the organization of Malachi's New York. This affiliation made me and my family, including myself, a target of government surveillance and retaliation. In 2009, I was connected to a small music label in Columbus, Ohio. A contract was presented to me and my mother signed it on my behalf. Soon after, my mother passed away under suspicious circumstances at Mount Carmel West Hospital. This hospital has since been sued for wrongful deaths and patient mistreatment. I believe my mother's death was not natural, but rather a consequence of her involvement with that contract and the larger trafficking network. After her death, I experienced a series of events that led to my poisoning in hospitals, including Doctors West and OSU. My medical records from those visits were erased or altered. I believe these poisonings were a coordinated effort to remove me as a threat or to convert me into a commodified vessel within a broader human trafficking system. It is my belief that the hospitals were alerted ahead of my arrival and that the medical staff were instructed not to provide proper care. Each time I sought medical attention for symptoms of poisoning, I was either told that nothing was wrong with me or denied the necessary tests that would have confirmed what was happening to me. Though I cannot prove how such a program works, this is what I believe based on my experience. Jeffrey Epstein, a financier and trafficker connected to Les Wexner, has extensive ties to the Columbus, Ohio medical system. Wexner, a major funder of local healthcare institutions, including those linked to Doctors West Hospital, indirectly facilitated a network that enabled my poisoning. I believe Epstein's influence extended through Wexner's financial control of hospitals where my records were altered and my poisoning was carried out. I believe I was placed on a government watch list and labeled a Black identity extremist. That label has enabled decades of covert surveillance, identity theft, creative exploitation, economic sabotage, and repeated attempts to psychologically break me. My likeness, voice, and ideas have been stolen and repackaged by celebrities and media companies. I specifically name Rock Nation and Beyonce, Disney, and others. Their works symbolically mirror and profit from the events of my life while I have been silenced and rendered invisible. I was repeatedly followed by unknown individuals who were clearly hired to track my movements and intimidate me. These individuals would sit in cars outside my home for long hours, stand near my door and windows without explanation, and in several incidents fire guns into the air before fleeing the scene, designed to terrorize and destabilize me. I was also stalked while driving. Individuals were paid to follow me on the road, driving aggressively and attempting to run me off the road on several occasions. These dangerous acts were intended to intimidate, create constant fear, and potentially cause harm or force me into an accident. The stalking was persistent and highly coordinated. Police departments were also involved in the stalking. Officers in marked vehicles would aggressively follow me both on and off the road while I was walking or going about my daily activities. They would frequently turn on their lights and sirens directly behind me, only to drive off moments later. Police cruisers will also park outside of my home, flashing their lights into my apartments. These tactics were designed to create fear, instability, and the constant feeling of being watched and threatened. On numerous occasions, my vehicle was broken into or tampered with. These break-ins were not random. They were strategically timed to prevent me from leaving home, working, or attending important appointments. They represent a pattern of sabotage used to keep me isolated and financially dependent. Individuals entered my home while I was away and poisoned my food. These intrusions were covert and calculated, causing unexplained physical symptoms, hospital visits, and trauma. This tactic was used to inflict harm without traceable evidence. Some of my family members were also targeted. They were either threatened or bribed in efforts to turn them against me. In certain cases, relatives were pressured to participate in the spreading of false narratives or isolating me from sources of support. These tactics fractured my family ties and deepened my isolation. Those who attempted to support me or help me were themselves targeted. Some were threatened or stalked or publicly discredited. These tactics ensured that I remained isolated with no support network to escape or to expose the abuse. Defendants and their associates spread defamatory rumors about my sexual health and character within private symbolic circles. They used coded language and insider symbolism to destroy my reputation while avoiding public detection. Symbols were deliberately attached to me, symbols that only I would recognize, so that covert messages could be delivered in public forums. Through these symbolic references, the perpetrators were able to send messages meant to terrorize or control me while the general public remained unaware of their significance. Crisis actors were hired to create and share fake viral stories that mirrored my lived experience. These staged stories were used to further psychologically destabilize me, discredit me, and deliver covert threats. These stories often went viral as part of a larger social media trend designed to ridicule, mock, or signal harm to me.